Good morning, all of you. We are doing chapter that is Electoral Politics, part 4. Now, today we'll discuss about what is our system of elections. Previously, we have discussed about what is an election, what is the need of the election. Now, we'll discuss today that how elections are conducted in India. So if you will see, elections are held in India at 3 levels, but basically normally जो हम बात करते हैं, elections are held in India in Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha regularly after every 5 years, and after 5 years the terms of all the elected representatives comes to an end. Elections held in all constituencies at the same time, either on the same day or within a few days, is called a general election. Or this, we can say, types of elections. There are 3 types of elections, that is general elections, by-elections, and midterm elections. So normally whenever we are talking about the elections, we are just discussing about the general elections. So Lok Sabha elections, Vidhan Sabha elections, which held in all constituencies at the same time or within a few days, is called a general election. But sometimes elections are held only for one constituency, particular constituencies, owing to the death or resignation of a representative, that is called by-elections. And due to death or resignation of a member, that seat will be vacant. And at that time, in that particular constituencies, elections were held, and that is called by-elections. But another type of elections is also there, that is called midterm elections. Midterm election, as it proves with the names, midterm. That is before completing 5 years of age. 5 साल से पहले जो elections होंगे, that will be called midterm elections, and that is due to when legislature is not able to complete its tenure. So elections are held for the entire constituencies. So that is called midterm elections. In India, national level, midterm elections are held in 1980s. 1977 elections were held, and first time Janata Party ruled over the country, but they were not able to complete its tenure, and elections were held in 1980. Election should be conducted in 1982, but was held in 1980. So that's why it is called midterm elections. Now we will discuss about what is the system of elections in India. For the elections in India, first system is making of constituencies, or we can say electoral constituencies. That means the country is divided into electoral constituencies for both the Lok Sabha and the Legislative Assemblies elections. For this, country is divided into different geographical areas for the purpose of elections, and that is called electoral constituencies. One representative is elected from each constituency by the voters, Now we are talking about Lok Sabha. The country is divided into 543 constituencies for the Lok Sabha elections. The selected representatives is called the Member of Parliament or MP. Similarly, each state is divided into a number of assembly constituencies, and the representative selected from each constituency is called the Member of Legislative Assembly or MLA. Each parliamentary constituency has within it several assembly constituencies. The same principle applies for panchayat and municipal elections also. This is the third level of government, third tier of government, like parliament for the national level, state assembly for the particular states, and local self-government. That is rural areas, it is known as Panchayati Raj system. Urban areas, it is known as municipal corporation. The same principle applies for the panchayat and municipal elections. Each village or town is divided into several wards, and that are like constituencies. Each ward elects one member of the village or the urban local body. Sometimes these constituencies are counted as seats. For each constituency, represent one seat in the assembly. Next, after making the electoral constituencies, reserved constituencies also for the election procedure. Some constituencies are reserved for people who belong to the scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. For the Lok Sabha elections, 84 seats are reserved for SC and 47 for the ST. No reservation for OBC and women. That means in SC reservation, SC reserved constituencies, only someone who belongs to the scheduled caste can stand for election. Only those belong to the scheduled tribes can contest an election from a constituency reserved for STs. But when we are having local self-elections, in many states, in rural, that means Panchayati Raj, and urban municipalities and municipal corporation, local bodies are now reserved for OBCs and women candidates also. But what was the reason behind it? Why these reserved constituencies were added in the constitution? Because our constitution makers were aware that in an open electoral competition, certain weaker sections of the society may not stand a good chance of winning because of the influence of powerful sections, rich sections. And this is the reason that makers of constitution prepared a system of reserved constituencies for these weaker sections. So first, electoral competition, constituencies, second, reserved constituencies. Next is, that is, voters list. What does it mean? In a democratic elections, The list of those who are eligible to vote is prepared much before the election and given to everyone, which is called electoral roll and commonly known as voters list. That means the list of people who are eligible for voting is prepared by the Election Commission of India, and it is the responsibility of Election Commission that names of the voters should be included in this list, all the voters. This ensures that everyone in the country gets an equal opportunity. And that's why it is also called universal adult franchise. So everyone gets an equal opportunity of choosing their political representatives, regardless of a person, caste, creed, color, and gender. Every citizen of an above 18 years of age is eligible to. Previously, this age was 21 years, now it is 18 years. This is the most important step. It is linked to the first condition of a democratic election. If you remember about features of democracy. First feature, major decisions are taken by elected representatives. But how elected representatives will rule over the country, will take decision? That is through elections. And what type of elections we require? That is free and fair elections. And who will choose their representative? All the citizens of the country. And they all should have one vote, one value, one person. So this is the first condition of a democratic election, that everyone should get an equal opportunity to choose their representative. Different citizens differ from one another. Some are rich, some are poor, some are educated, some are not so educated. But still, they all are having equal right to vote. Even the voters are required to carry EPIC. Have you ever heard the name of EPIC? Election Photo Identity Card. When they go out to vote, so that no one can vote for someone else's name. But in India, this card is not compulsory for voting, as voters can show many other proofs of identity like the ration card or the driving license. Okay, now after that, what is the condition? That is nomination of candidate. Can anyone tell me what is the difference between a candidate or a voters? What is the difference between a candidate or a voter? Yes, Aryan?
Ma'am, a candidate is someone who runs for election, and ma'am, a voter is someone who, ma'am, casts his vote to, ma'am, candidates.
Yes, Prince. What is your point of opinion?
Candidates who participate in this, or ma'am voter who vote for the candidate.
Okay, listen, all the candidates will be a voter also. Because candidates pehle voter hain, and after that they will convert into candidates if they are interested to participate in the elections. And the major difference is their age. For the voter, the age is required. Kitna age hota hai voter ke liye? What is the age required for
18.
vote? 18 years.
Ma'am, 18.
But for the candidate, the age is required. That is
ma'am 35.
25.
25.